Hello, Ima. It's really good to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for coming. As I think about it, since I've gotten to know you, I think to myself, this is a really high quality person.
Thank you.
So it's my good fortune, actually,
Yeah.
that I know you and I've talked with you and I've met with you and we're having this conversation together. But the audience doesn't know you.
Yes.
And it's kind of lost for them. But now we want to even the ground. So if you could take some time and introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah.
Who is Ima and what is Ima all about?
Ima is a lot of things. I don't think we could really just box it in one place.
Okay.
But I'll just say like who I am according to what I think I am.
Good.
So I am a singer-songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
And also an advocate of the High Court.
Mm-hmm.
So I studied law.
Mm-hmm.
I refer to myself as a creative who happened to do law.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I run a legal consultancy that's primarily for artists and creatives. It's called Art Law Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Among the many things that I do, I'm also a visual artist.
Uh-huh.
I'm also a blogger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lover of life.
Mm-hmm.
Adventurous,
Absolutely.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that impression the first time I met you.
Mm-hmm.
You and I met at that exhibition,
Yes.
art exhibition.
Yes.
And that was a really good event. But I got to meet you in the company of a lot of other creatives.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful scene
Yes.
to meet.
Actually, that was one of the events I think that has marked the year for creatives and specifically for visual artists.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
I think since the pandemic, we really haven't been in a space where a lot of us were.
Can come together.
Yes.
Yes.
So it was a really good time.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. So, do you have a website
Yes.
and other social media thing? All right. So we are going to try to, as much as possible, integrate that into this conversation.
Okay.
And we will figure out a way to do that because people would need to see some of what you do. I think it's important. We'll try to do that.
Okay.
So today we're here to talk about, the whole business of making a difference through arts and music and culture and law. All things that you are intimately familiar with and engaged with. And then today, because of the fixation on STEM, many people would actually ask the question, who needs art? What is it good for anyway?
Mm-hmm.
People are much more practical. The necessity for survival and to make a living and to make money. People sometimes say, art, music,
Yeah.
What would you say to these kinds of people?
That's a lot. That's a lot of things.
Yes.
First things first. Okay, so there's the fact that the arts is there to reflect the times. Nina Simone said this.
Mm-hmm.
Any artist you walk up to will tell you, we are the voice of society. We represent, we reflect what's going on in the times.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that school of thought.
Right.
Then there's a school of thought that art allows you to feel. It allows you to connect, to be intentional about expression.
Yes.
Where I feel like expression isn't quite encouraged in today's society. It's get up and go and do and be and achieve, and it's very mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
And the art allows you to pause and think, to pause and introspect, to pause and connect with self, with others.
Yes.
And I think a world without art is a world I wouldn't want to exist in.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to exist in that, because even if you look at what happened during COVID, we were all locked in our houses. We couldn't see our friends, our loved ones.
Right.
What did we turn to? Films, music,
yes.
podcasts,
Absolutely.
books.
Yes.
Art was there for us
Yes.
at that time. It held us together.
Yes.
And so I don't think the value of art should be monetarily based.
Yes.
It is more than monetary. It is a need for the human, human experience.
Yeah. Absolutely. So your argument is that art is not a means to an end. It is the end in itself.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Wow. And actually, a lot of people do not think about the arts until this COVID. And they literally were going crazy in their houses and they went to Netflix, and
Yes.
they went to Hulu, and they
Mhm.
went to YouTube,
Mhm.
seeking for ways and means to kind of occupy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. Thank you for that insight. And I will actually agree with you that a world without art is not one I would want to live in myself, because it would be a world without heart and soul. You know, can you imagine a world where you only have mathematicians and engineers and people, tool makers? We call them technology dealers, right? All they do is they do tools,
Yeah.
and we need the tools
Yeah.
undoubtedly. But can you imagine a world without arts and music
No.
and culture and stuff like that?
Mhm.
It'd be a terrible world.
It'd be a bad one.
It'd be an ugly world. I wouldn't want to be in it. Wow, that's really good. So there are, down through history, from time immemorial, a lot of philosophers and thinkers have spoken about the arts and about music and about these kinds of things we're talking about. And perhaps we can reflect on some of what they've said.
Okay.
And they might help to set the stage as we go forward in the conversation. What do you think about that?
Let's get into it.
Let's do it,
Let's
right?
get into it.
All right. So here is one that I think is particularly powerful from Plato, the philosopher, a disciple of Socrates. He said of music, he said, I will teach children music, physics, and philosophy, but most importantly, music.
Yeah.
So Plato is a philosopher. He didn't say most importantly philosophy. He says, oh no, most importantly, he will teach them music.
Yeah.
That's pretty profound.
It's powerful.
The same philosopher, Plato, says that music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, and flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Yeah, Plato said that. And in the Republic, he also said that musical training is more potent instrument than any other, because rhythm and harmony finds their way into the inward places of the soul. These are pretty profound. What do you think about this?
I think he said a lot when it came to music.
Yeah.
And he was definitely onto something. Music, art is that thing that connects us. Again, you don't need to translate it.
Yes.
You could feel, you
Yes.
could hear, you could almost even touch what somebody is singing or what they're talking about just by listening.
Yes.
And I think, again, we do need the mechanical professionals, the ones, the STEM, like you said, the ones who make things work and rationalize and have logic and apply logic to everything.
Of course.
But at the end of the day, we also need to be in tune with the humanity of it. And the humanity is based on everything that is not really logical or rational. I don't think you can rationalize even emotion or expression.
Right.
It's just what you feel.
Absolutely.
You can't quantify love or
Right.
joy or peace,
Right.
but you can express them, you can communicate them. And so I think a wholesome human requires all these aspects.
Absolutely.
And so in as much as you can create this thing that is a mechanical thing that can solve a problem, you also need to be able to connect with people around you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think.
Now, can you think of maybe wedding without music?
Oh, no.
Right.
The picture doesn't even.
Right. It'd be bizarre, I think. Even in the military service, where people are concerned with the business of creating chaos in order to gain, to dominate an opponent, right? You still need music.
Yeah.
Martial music.
Yeah.
Military parades, you have band,
Yeah.
and everybody's excited.
Yeah.
So music is everything.
Music is everything.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having all these technology for movie making, right? And you don't have music?
No.
It's just crazy.
No.
It's unthinkable for me, at
Right?
least. It's
Yeah.
absolutely unthinkable.
And music doesn't have to be even the singing of the birds is music.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah.
They're like choirs of birds. They sing to me every morning.
Yeah. So music is key. It's like it's next to air.
Yes.
It's not air.
Right.
Yeah.
It is the air that we breathe. That's profound. Now you have some of the ones you were talking to me about.
Yes.
Yeah, this is great.
So this is by Henry David.
Okay.
He says, when I hear music, I fear no danger. I am invulnerable. I see no fall. I am related to the earliest times and to the latest. What do you think about that?
Right. I think he's talking about the transcendence of music, as well as its transformative quality. The music transcends everything: time, culture, space, people. It's transcendent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In my travel, I have found that to be true. You know, it's powerful when I walk down the streets of Guatemala and hear them playing their music, or maybe go down the streets of Brazil and I get excited. You know, just the other day, I showed my team, I wore a shirt that says Olodun, and they were asking me what it meant. And I said, all right, go to YouTube. And I showed them Michael Jackson doing music with the Olodun players in Brazil, in Bahia, Brazil.
Yeah.
And we all enjoyed it. And all of us can relate. And this is what music is. Regardless of where you are, your culture, your tribe, your tongue, your whatever, music transcends all of that.
Yeah.
It carries us along. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I think. And it has a transformative nature to it. You know, it changes us in some way, in some very positive way, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I think.
How about, I would say that music is the easiest means in which to express, but since words are my talent, I must try to express clumsily in words what the pure music would have done better.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that to be true. A lot of times, even in your own legal profession, people multiply words because they think their words mean something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But sometimes all you need is just sit back and listen to the pure melody. In my case, I like saxophone a lot. And I like other instruments, but saxophone speaks to me a lot. And sit back and listen to an instrumental saxophone is playing. And it transports me to Shangri-La, if you will, right? It transports me to a place that, you know, nobody can touch me. Music does that for me. Yeah.
That's powerful.
And it expresses things that even I myself cannot reach with words. And silence becomes the only response for me. I just sit back and soak it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I think about it.
Okay. Interesting. All right.